Today we are gonna talk about the story that's the most important of the day for tech stocks and for AI stocks. And this is the release of the new model called Deepseek, a model that was created by a Chinese company and that is causing a stir on Wall Street and on Silicon Valley because it has a number of features that uh, are completely unexpected. And tech stocks have fallen during the whole day as people have figured out that this company, a small company called Deepseek, has created a AI model that is already competitive and in many ways superior to US models created by big companies like Google, Meta, and OpenAI, which is the creator of ChatGPT. So today we are gonna see some of this information about this new model and why it's so important for the industry. So let's first look at what they are telling in the news, and this is NBC News. They are basically summarizing here that this tech stocks fall and US worries about the AI race. Well, so what's this all about? The news is that Nvidia lost $600 billion in market value, and this is the biggest drop in for a stock in the stock market since ever. Uh, and the idea is that DeepSeek has leapfrogged the US dominance in AI development. So let's see. The sell-off was sparked by advanced claim by China's DeepSeek, whose outstanding qualities became evident this weekend. The open source model was first released in December when the company said it took only 2 months and $6 million to create. These claims would be far less than the number of billions of dollars their American tech giants such as OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta, and others have poured into developing their own models. Well, so why is this important and why the market is so fearful? The issue is these companies like OpenAI, Google, and Meta, they have spent billions of dollars to create models of something that they say is intelligent and that generate responses to chats and interaction with users. So they justify the enormous amount of money that is spent on this process and in the stocks of the involved companies by saying that they are ahead of everyone and this is technology that nobody ever saw. Uh, the problem for them is that this Chinese company, which is a small company compared to everything else in the United States, has demonstrated that they can achieve basically the same results or even better with less power, with a smaller number of computers, and with chips that are not even from the latest generation of NVIDIA chips. And this happened because the United States doesn't allow NVIDIA to sell the latest chips to China, to Chinese companies. So they had to make up with older hardware. The big problem is that this model is already proven to be better than OpenAI's latest model by simply submitting uh, requests and looking at the results. So this means that all the money that was spent on training and uh, uh, server infrastructure and all and everything that is needed by these American companies it's not it was really is not really necessary anymore. And more than that, uh, now during the weekend we learned that these models, they don't even need to be accessed through a website. For example, a number of places have already uh, downloaded the model and created guides to install Deepseek R1 locally. Okay, so if you have a powerful computer, you can run the most advanced model, which is called Deepseek R1. If you don't have a large computer, you can even install a smaller version of the model. Okay, this company released one smaller version that is able to run even on a cell phone. So here is one of the websites where you can find this information: how to run DeepSeek locally on your Android device. So if you don't really want to use a website and pay for the fee, you can even download this to an Android device and run a restricted version of this model. So in any way that you look, this is a really bad thing for companies that create AI models. It is basically this company telling the world that, look, these people are kind of incompetent because we can do whatever they do with just a tiny amount of computation and money. Okay, so what this means is that every company in the world was believing that to run AI, you needed a ton of NVIDIA GPUs. Even the US government believed that China would never be able to create anything similar with the older versions of NVIDIA GPUs. And what you see nowadays is that that's not even necessary. So here's another interesting site explaining this. DeepSeek's release sparks tech market turmoil, and it is not limited to Nvidia. Other tech giants are also facing scrutiny. The impact of DeepSeek is not limited to Nvidia alone. Its disruptive potential is causing ripples through the entire sector. Investors are now reevaluating their portfolios and many express apprehension about the speed and scale of technological advancement. So, of course, this, in a sense, this is nothing new. We already knew, for example, that all the money that they spent on training these models uh, would be difficult to recoup. But like every time this happens in Wall Street, they always believe that a particular company will win over the other companies, and therefore they will have the whole market for themselves, and this is going to justify all the costs. But what DeepSeek is demonstrating is that there is really no advantage for these companies because everything that they are trying to do can be done much more in a much more cheap way, and effectively we already know how to do, right? You can just go to DeepSeek website and use it, either paying a very small fee, or you can even if you have a little bit of knowledge, you can download the model and run it locally. Any company in the world now can do this. So why you're gonna pay lots of money to Nvidia or to OpenAI to have the same results? Doesn't make any sense. C. TechCrunch. DeepSeek punctures AI leaders' spending plans and what analysts are saying. So, as we have seen last week, the United States, the government of the United States pledged to spend half a trillion dollars with all these infrastructure that would be used by AI companies. And what about the results of this? It doesn't seem that it make any sense. So Chinese firm has emerged as a potential challenger to US AI companies, demonstrating breakthrough models that claim to offer performance compared to leading offerings at a fraction of the cost. Well, so basically, now we have something that is groundbreaking in this area, and whatever happens, American companies will have to do something to change course because they cannot just pretend that they are ahead of everybody else. It is clearly not true. It cannot, and they can also not pretend that they can keep spending this huge amount of money to achieve the same results that have already been uh, accomplished by other companies with much less. So we are gonna see certainly a big change, and I the minimum that I expect is that all these companies involved here will have to trim down the amount of money they spend, and they will have to come up with something that is much better and much cheaper for consumers, or otherwise they will not have anything to sell, frankly, because why any company would pay OpenAI, for example, if they can just run an open source version that is as good as OpenAI's platform? Doesn't make any sense. So today we saw the results on Wall Street, but we are still yet to see any real announcement from companies of what they are planning to do and what kind of changes they will make in the future to adjust to this new reality that the Chinese are essentially matching what they can do and for much less cost. So that's the story of the day. Uh, Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe, and I'll be talking more about this topic in the future as new developments appear. Thank you.